Hello. So there might be many reasons why you have to keep track of the time you worked. For example, you might be a contractor, billing by the hour. Or maybe it might be required for some administrative purpose. Or maybe you're just interested in what you spend your time on. Now, if you've ever needed a time tracking application, the first thing you did was probably Google time tracking, after which you came across one of these many similar websites. They all more or less work the same way. They usually allow you to track your time as you're working by hitting the start and subsequently the stop button. Or they allow you to manually add blocks of time after the fact. In either case, it requires you to take quite an active role. Either you actively have to press the start and stop button, or if you add a block of time after the fact, you have to remember what you worked on and how long you worked on it. Now, I didn't really like either of those two options. So that's why I created this activity logging application. What it does is it takes a screenshot every 2 minutes. Then the next day, it combines all of these screenshots into a time lapse of your workday. And on top of that, it has some nice additional features. The most important feature is that it creates a clear summary of the blocks of time you worked on during the day. It shows that summary right at the start of the video. Here, for example, I can see that I worked from 8:45 till 10:50, or about 2 hours. And then from 11:22 till 1:29, another 2 hours. Whenever your computer is turned off or asleep for more than 10 minutes, it will create a new block. And then the rest of the video is the actual time lapse. If you want to view a certain block, chapters are also included that allow you to quickly navigate to a specific block. In the top left corner, there's also an additional time and date so that you can always see when the screenshot was taken. Lastly, the summary information from the beginning of the video is also saved as a JSON as well as a CSV file. So then, about once a month, I sit down and I go over all the videos and manually inserted blocks into an Excel sheet. It's a very simple sheet with just a date, the number of hours, what project I worked on, and what type of work I did. And, of course, a description. It also has a nice summary to get an overview of the total number of hours per project and per task. Filling out these blocks for a whole month does maybe take an hour or so. But to me, that's a small price to pay to then have the luxury of not having to think of time tracking for another month. So that's mostly it. The project is open source and you can find the link to the GitHub page in the description, together with a link to the Excel sheet that I showed you. It currently only works on Linux, with no plans to support other operating systems. That is, unless of course somebody wants to join the project to also get it working on Windows as well as Mac. Oh, and one last thing, if you do decide to install it, be aware that on Ubuntu it will flash the screen every time it takes a screenshot. This is a safety feature as it makes it very hard for some rogue application to take a screenshot without your knowledge. The only way I have found to get rid of this is to go to Settings, Accessibility, Seeing, and then turning off animation effects. It's not ideal, but hey, at least it works. So that's all I wanted to share with you. So with that, I wish you all an absolutely brilliant rest of your day.